It is 7 o'clock on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025, and I am now going to call the meeting of the Planning Commission to order. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Mr. Mako?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to Section B of our agenda. Are there any additions or corrections?
Roll call.
Oh, my goodness.
Roll call.
See, I'm trying to get this over with as quickly as possible for all of you. No. I am so sorry. Yes. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Greenberg.
Here.
Hicks is absent. Mako.
Here.
Pollier.
Here.
Shapaka.
Here.
Soriano's absent. Tamarkin.
Here.
Thank you. Now we will move on to Section B. Additions or corrections to the agenda. I do not believe there are any. Is that correct? Correct. Thank you. Now we'll move on to Section C, approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from June 11th, 2025?
So moved, Tamarkin.
And is there a second?
Second, Mako.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Tamarkin.
Yes.
Mako.
Yes.
Hicks. Absent. Sorry. Pollier.
Yes.
Shapaka.
Abstain.
Greenberg.
Yes.
Motion passes. Next item on our agenda is to swear in applicants and speakers. Mr. Assistant City Attorney, can you please swear in the speakers that are here tonight?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Chair. We are now at the public hearing portion of the meeting. The public hearing will operate as follows. Administrative staff will make a presentation or comment on the application. The applicant or their representative may then make a presentation or comment on the application. The applicant has 10 minutes to present, and additional time may be requested. Permission is at the discretion of the chair. Public comment will then be open for 3 minutes allowed per speaker. Additional time may be requested. Permission is at the discretion of the chair. Speakers must complete a speaker slip and come to the podium and state their name and address. The applicant will then be given 10 minutes to comment. Additional time may be requested. Permission is at the discretion of the chair. If there is more than one application pending for a particular address, the presentation on each application may be consolidated and presented as one. At this time, will persons wishing to present testimony this evening please rise and raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, state I do. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move into our applications section of the agenda, and we do have one application to consider tonight, which is V-0018-2025, to consider a variance application to vary section 1111.03, permanent sign standards of the codified ordinances of the City of Gahanna for property located at 605 Crescent Place, parcel ID 025-014177, current zoning GC General Commercial, Orthopedic 1, Kylie Cochran applicant. And I will now turn it over to the administration for a presentation.
This is a variance application for some additional signage at the Orthopedic 1 site. Here on the zoning map, you can see the location of the property underneath the yellow star. It's just south of I-270, east of Hamilton Road, and north of Tech Center. Here's a more zoomed in image of the site. You can see that a large portion of the property line has frontage along the I-270 on-ramp, and it has access off of Tech Center Drive through a cul-de-sac. The applicant is requesting approval of one variance for an additional 126 square feet of wall signage. For some brief history on the site, design review, final development plan, and variance applications were approved for the Orthopedic 1 project in May of 2023, and then some sign variances were approved for the property in June of 2024. That sign variance included 3 wall signs, 2 of which were 49 square feet and 1 of which was 99.5 square feet. for a total of around 197 square feet. The variance was required because the signs exceeded the maximum total area for wall signs and the maximum area for all signage on the site. This application was filed under the former zoning code, and at that time, the total sign area permitted for the site was 150 square feet, and under the current code, it's 400 square feet. So only one variance is required for the total amount of wall signage, but there's no variance required for the total amount of all signage. The current variance application includes one new wall sign on the north elevation that faces I-270. It's 126 square feet and reads Orthopedic 1. There is one other existing sign on the north frontage, and this will be moved slightly to align with the new sign, but the other two signs are unchanged. On the top left, that's an elevation that was approved with the former variance application. You can see the 49 square foot sign. And then on the right, that's what's included with today's application. So it's the same 49 square foot sign, and then just below it, they've added Orthopedic 1. The rendering on the bottom shows the west elevation with the two other signs that were approved previously, and those would be in the same location. Here is a table that goes through the different sizes of the signs on the site. Wall signs 1, 2, and 3 were approved with the previous application, and wall sign number 4, which is bolded, is the only new one with this application. You can see that it exceeds the 50 square foot maximum for wall signage. And then in the bottom row, you can see that the total amount of all signage on the site, including the new sign, is around 323 square feet, which is below the maximum of 400 square feet. Here's a site plan that shows the location of all the signage on the site. Once again, signs 1, 2, and 3 were already approved through a different variance application, and sign 4, which is outlined in red, is the one that is included in the application today. There's one variance included with this application. The zoning code allows one wall sign per street frontage at a total of 50 square feet per frontage. The proposed sign exceeds the 50 square feet by 76, and there is already 49 square feet of signage on the north elevation. So when you include the existing sign with the new one, it's a total of 175 square feet on the north elevation. This is the variance criteria that must be met. One criteria to point out is underlined. It states whether the variance is substantial and is the minimum necessary to make possible the reasonable use of land or structures. Staff has no objection to the variance request. The original variance application was granted due to increased visibility along I-270, as well as how far set back the property is off of Tech Center Drive. This application is just for the one sign that was shown on the north elevation, and it wouldn't be visible from any other side of the building. Staff does not believe that the variance would have any negative effects. However, it also is not the minimum necessary since a sign variance had already been approved for the site previously. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now open the meeting for public comment. Would the applicant like to comment, please?
I have nothing specific to add or
Can you just
comment.
state your name and address for the record, please?
Sure.
Thank
Stephanie
you.
Rauschenbach, 9913 Aaron Woods, Dublin, Ohio. I have nothing to add to
What
the
is your
app.
relationship to the project?
Sure. I am the Market Development Director, so I am an employee and representative of the practice of
Okay.
Orthopedic One.
Go ahead. Sorry. I didn't
No,
mean to keep
you're fine.
interrupting you.
You're fine.
Go ahead.
I have nothing to add to the application itself, but I did want to be present and make myself available to answer any additional questions that you may have, and thank you for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. You can just stay up there for a second if you don't mind. It doesn't look like we have anyone else in the public to comment, so I will go ahead and close the public comment section and open it up to questions from the commission. And I'll start on my left with Mr. Chapaka.
Thank you. Chair, so were you aware of the 400 square foot maximum?
We were made aware of it when we first proposed this additional sign element. I know that it had changed since our original request.
So when this was brought before us prior, there was no sign on that facade at that time? I mean,
Yeah, no, this is an absolutely fair question. So what did exist on the elevation that faced 270 was what we call our brand mark. It's that O1 icon. What we're suggesting or what we're requesting is that we have the practice name represented there as well, which would be our full logo mark, not just the icon. So that's that.
Thank you. No more questions, Mr. Chair?
Thank you. Mr. Mako?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just one quick question. Could you kind of elaborate a little bit, looking at the schematics and site plans, the illumination proposed for this, could you kind of delve in a little bit more and explain how you're going to be proposing to do that?
Sure. I do know that it is illuminated. I unfortunately am not the best technical person to speak to the pieces there. I do believe it is represented in the application itself. We're working with Signcom, who is the vendor who did all of the other signage on the facility that we've worked with previously. I do know there is proposed illumination for both the practice name and the icon that currently exists on that elevation.
Okay, and I guess the follow-up question is going to be, there's not any concern about excessive lighting coming off onto the freeway that would potentially cause a hazard?
None that I'm aware of, or that's been brought to my attention from either our architect, developer, or the sign vendor themselves.
Okay, and then one final quick question. So this, what you're proposing, it's going to be essentially just lettering.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, just the practice name itself beneath the already existing icon. And just suggesting we shift that icon slightly just for symmetry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. No further questions, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Greenberg?
Yes, I have a question for the city. Is there a sign plan for the whole Crescent area, or will there be?
Not at this time, no. And this building in particular probably wouldn't have a sign plan since it's just one tenant.
Okay, but the Crescent has a lot of tenants that are coming in.
Oh, well, we had one just.
What I think, if I may, Michael Blackford, Director of Planning. Mr. Greenberg, you mean for the entirety of the Crescent property, sort of where Ortho 1 is and where some of the other medical facilities? The master developer, who was the master developer of those properties throughout the years, has talked about that, never went forward and submitted any application. So at this point, being that the majority of lots are developed, I would not foresee an overall master sign plan, although staff and at one point the developer thought that would be a good idea. So what I think we're going to see are one-off variance requests like this, and then master sign plans like we saw a couple weeks ago.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mr. Tamarkin?
I have no questions, but I'll answer a question. Looking at the specs here, it says illumination, internal LED module illumination, which my understanding from my sign experience is the letters will light up. So no spotlights, no anything else, that the letters will
Blade
have
out. Yep.
lights in them that'll light the letters, and it says warm white. Other than that, no questions.
Thank you. I just have a question. You said that you were going to put the practice name, the practice group name. Is that common on your other buildings to have the practice group name there? Is that?
Yeah, great question. It is. Every site is somewhat unique in terms of just its wayfinding and visibility, what's available to us. I think one of the unique challenges that this site presented to us is the fact that it is so set back within the development. There is no monument signage in place to help guide our patients from Tech Center back to our facility. I think as development increases, especially, let me get my bearings, along the west elevation, so where sign 2, where we currently have the practice name, development is going up in front of that. So just really trying to create as much awareness for our patients as they're navigating to the building itself, and the practice name is what is most known.
Okay. Was there a reason why that consideration was not taken into account with the original variance application?
Yeah, I think as we've seen the development grow and begin to take shape, we were one of the first tenants in that space. I think the reality that the existing signage at sign 2, where the practice name is currently, just wasn't enough. It wasn't sufficient. We've struggled to get patients to the site. So this was the solution.
I don't have any further questions. Is there any other questions from anyone on the commission? Okay, seeing none. Do we have a motion to approve? You can sit down. Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve V-0018-2025?
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve, I'm sorry, I don't know if you assigned it to someone.
I did not, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve V-0018-2025 for sign variance at Orthopedic 1.
Can I have a second, please?
Second, Chapaka?
Thank you. So I have a motion by Mr. Tamarkin, seconded by Mr. Chapaka. Is there any discussion on the motion? I'll start again to my left with Mr.
Thank you, Madam
Chapaka.
Chair. Yeah, I will be in favor of this. I mean, the site location, the actual field conditions, walking around, the on-ramp creates probably a unique condition that I would like to think that the designer could come up with all the ideas or expressions that they can do for the signage, but sometimes you got to build it, and step back and take a look at it. And to help with the branding of it, I think it's all clean, favorable, and in proportion. So we are in favor.
Mr. Mako?
No comment, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Greenberg? Mr. Tamarkin?
Thanks, Madam Chair. Quick comment. I think I will also be in favor. It's nice when you have a business where people can recognize who you are just by your logo, 01, but my guess is not everybody in the area knows what 01 means, so certainly putting the words Orthopedic 1 underneath it will help identify what the building is. So I think it's certainly appropriate that you have that on the building.
Thank you. And I'll also be in favor of the variance. We've approved variances in the past for this almost same exact reason, to increase visibility and things like that. So I will also be in favor of this. Given that, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Tamarkin,
Yes.
Chapaka,
Yes.
Mako,
Yes.
Pollyea,
Yes.
Greenberg.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll now move on in our agenda to Section F. Is there any unfinished business?
No, ma'am.
Okay, how about any new business? Okay, then we will move on to Section H with official reports. Mr. Assistant City Attorney?
Nothing to report at this time.
Okay, and how about you, Director Blackford?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to have a very brief report. We are not anticipating any agenda items for the July 7th, 10th, 9th meeting, but we are anticipating agenda items for the July 23rd meeting. And at that meeting, I'll also provide a bit of an update for the department. I provided a department update to council earlier this week, but I'm going to augment that a little bit with some project-specific updates for Planning Commission next month. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Council liaison, that's me. Just one thing to report from this week's council meeting. There's still some discussion regarding the parcel on Tech Center next to Burns and Scalo, the one where they're planning to build a spec warehouse. They were, if you all recall, they were here before us a couple weeks ago asking for the design review and a few other variances. There's still some discussion with City Council with regard to the tax abatement issue. That's still being discussed and debated. If you're interested, you can always tune into the city's YouTube channel. You can also hear an advanced preview of Director Blackford's presentation that he will be presenting to us shortly as well. So I believe also the Department of, thank you. The Service Department also prepared and presented a presentation as well. And that is all I have for my report. Nothing from the mayor tonight. And I don't have anything to report as the interim chair tonight either. So we'll move on to the next section. Are there any correspondence and actions?
No.
Okay, thank you. And then just finally, we will move on to poll everyone for any comments that we might have. I'll start with you, Mr. Stropaka.
Thank you. Just a little thoughts and prayers for John.
Mr. Mako?
Second that, and also wishing everyone a happy 4th of July coming up.
Thank you. Mr. Greenberg?
I'll wish our chair a speedy recovery and back to health soon.
And Mr. Martin?
Agreed with all commissioners.
And just for myself, I'll echo what everyone else said, wish a speedy recovery to our chair, and also wish everybody a happy 4th of July as well. Be safe, and protect your pets from the loud noises from the fireworks. And if there is nothing else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, from Mr. Stropaka, we are adjourned.